Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Wow, that was a creepy way to start a podcast
You know what?
episode.
We got to get creepy every once in a while, you know.
I like when we just say "fuck."
Yeah.
Oh, fuck!
Oh, fuck. Well, we did that now.
Lots of
too,
fucking.
so.
Is the way that we start this.
Yeah. Yep.
So, welcome to Fuck This Movie. This week, we take a sporting turn
Yeah.
with my co-host here. He's too old to be cool, Mr. John Brown.
That is me. I'm older every day.
And the man who watched everything, Mr. Reese Anweiler.
That's me.
I am me.
He is him.
And here we are.
And he is risen. So, you guys been watching anything cool?
Yeah, I guess I'll kick it off. There are some that I'll leave off that we can talk about together that we watched, but I've watched a good amount of things, but I've watched a lot of series. One I did want to talk about was on Netflix, Department Q, British crime
Haven't heard
mystery
anything about it.
thing. Really good.
Yeah?
Well, it's set in Scotland actually, not Britain. But the main character is British
Yeah.
in Scotland. No, really well performed, great cast.
Anybody
murder
major
mystery.
attached to that?
Not names that I have off the top of my head, but definitely a few familiar faces
Yeah.
for sure that you'd recognize immediately.
Sorry, I was
but,
spacing out. What was the
Department Q
Okay.
series on Netflix. Yeah, so it centers around a cop that the beginning of the series is him getting kind of opting in onto a crime scene that he wasn't necessarily called to, just happened to be near. And when he went there, him and his longtime partner both got shot, and then another just kind of beat cop got killed. His partner got paralyzed. He got shot through the neck, and it's pretty much him coming back, and then the department offering him because nobody likes this guy. He's just a giant asshole. He's very charming in that way, but giant cocksucker. Everybody hates him basically. But the chief of police, whatever that equates to in Scotland, offers him. She gets approached by the government to create a department to revisit cold cases, so the department can look good, by getting some nice, heartwarming wins after the fact. And so she sticks him with a gig, and then it goes from there. And he ends up investigating a missing person of a lawyer chick who is also a fucking shitbag that nobody likes. She's been missing for a few years, and then he kind of reopens that case and delves into that. But it's just fucking awesome. He ends up getting he's a lone wolf kind of guy, but there's this Syrian dude that's just been hanging out at the police station trying to get a job forever, and he keeps infiltrating because he gives a chick cookies, and the fucking chief is done with that at a certain point. But he ends up working with him, and he's my favorite character of the show because he keeps himself kind of shrouded in mystery. But I mean, he's did shit in Syria, and it shows when he deals with people, it's just fucking quick fucking Vulcan neck grab and takes motherfuckers out.
Yeah.
Great character, great interaction between the two. But yeah, super fantastic show. Just fantastic dialogue. How much they just work through everything. Can't recommend it enough. And then started watching The Residence, also on Netflix. It's a murder mystery set in the White House.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Who's the
Recently.
lead in that?
I don't know her name.
It's the I don't know her name either. I will look it up. But she was in like a mini series or The Outsiders, I think it was. I think she was in that.
Huh.
I've only seen the first episode, but
Or no, sorry, no. She was in Orange Is the New Black.
oh, is that her?
Yeah, she was
it
like
is
the
her,
crazy
yeah.
eye person in Orange Is the New Black.
Huh,
Yeah.
well, that's a very
Oh.
different role. That's a very different role.
Yeah,
for her.
very different role. You don't
Yeah.
even know that it's her.
Wait,
No.
is she the Pennsatucky?
Uzo Aduba.
Oh, like the one who actually has a mental illness.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. No, it's from the first episode in. I mean, it's pretty great.
It's if you love mysteries, you love that like that style. Like
Yeah.
it's so
it's
good.
super quippy, super fast. You know,
And
dialogue.
it's like what are the two movies they did? Like the Glass Onion.
Yeah.
Like
Knives
it-
Out.
Knives Out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
like
it-
the series version of that.
It gave me
It's
very
kind of a
interesting.
gave me
wacky
very
comedy,
familiar
like
vibes
wacky
with
detective.
Murders in the Building, the
Yeah.
podcast oriented with Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
similar like hilarity there, but yeah, it was great.
But it's like one detective, and she's like very quirky,
Yeah,
and like she's kind of got that like Sherlock Holmes, like her mind just works different than everybody else, and
right.
She's not like other
obsessed
girls.
with bird watching. Yeah.
And makes it relevant several times. Yeah, no, it was really good.
Speaking of Knives Out, there's a new teaser trailer for the third one of those.
Ooh.
It looks
That-
pretty
that'd be
interesting.
nice.
Yeah,
It
hell
looks
yeah.
kind of like the Hounds of the Baskerville of the Knives Out series. It looks like it might have like a little bit of a supernatural feel to
Okay,
it.
okay, nice,
Mystery.
nice.
One little memory I have from that residence, great little line is I don't know how it comes up in context, but just see how wacky of a character she is. Like somebody mentions sex, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I like sex less than I like bird watching, but more than I like listening to men talk about real estate."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was a fun line. Other than that, I've watched. So I hadn't seen as much as Studio Ghibli is known for cute, fun family things and
Yeah.
all this jazz. I
That's
watched.
the worst thing to
I
do.
watched Grave of the Fireflies from 1988, and it is sweet Jesus, one of the most depressing fucking things you could ever watch. Like it's
Yeah.
really good, but goddamn, like that's the Studio Ghibli that might be up your alley, Dustin,
Yeah.
because it's just like
Well, I watched The Boy and the Heron, and that was disturbing.
Yeah, that
No,
was a
there's
weird
To some
one.
extent.
there's a wide array in the realm
whole, like,
of
bird
Ghibli.
with a person in it.
The human teeth, that was the weirdest part. I
Yeah,
feel like when
dude,
it,
that thing freaked
No,
me
this
out.
this is very real world. It's about a boy and his sister trying to survive during it's set during World War II, trying to survive after his home is burned down by a U.S. air raid. And basically, you just
We're
watch.
the bad guys in this one.
Oh yeah, very much so. And like, if this is accurate, I didn't
And most
even
every other
realize because
scenario.
it shows air raids where we're just burning down their homes.
yeah. It's
And
just
if
it's just an animated movie about two kids starving to
Yeah,
death.
it basically is. Like, that's really all. And it's so, like, the kids are so endearing. The little girl is
Yeah.
so endearing. You just watch her fucking die.
Yeah.
And then he
Oh,
just
spoilers.
dies. Yeah.
It's
No,
pretty-
actually, the first scene spoils it. The first scene says, I died at this day.
Yeah.
And then you just get to watch the fucking
Buckle in.
awfulness that happens. But, I mean, it's a great film. It was, of course, beautifully animated because Ghibli always does beautiful animation. But yeah, I did not see that one coming. Like, I knew it was going to be heavy, but I didn't think it was going to be like
Yeah.
just that. Just like yeah. And then I watched Legend the other day.
The Tom Cruise one?
Yeah, first time in a long time.
Yeah.
Alicia wanted to watch it with the family. It was good. I will say that the writing is fairly loose, really.
Yeah.
Like, it's not great writing, but
I it's been so long since I've seen it, and I don't even think I paid attention to it when I saw it.
so
I was like, I,
mean,
feel like I was like 12.
the writing isn't bad. It's
I
just
don't think I've ever seen it. Honestly.
it's just pretty generic fantasy writing.
Yeah.
right?
Well, if I
Like,
remember, like Tim Curry is like makes up 70% of the dialogue, and Tom Cruise is like,
no, well, Tim Curry comes
Not
in
very
pretty.
talkative.
I wouldn't say that he makes up 70% of the dialogue. It's just his impact on the film is like 70%.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
his is clearly the best dialogue, and like he does steal the show once he's on.
yeah,
But yeah, so it's pretty generic story, classic fantasy generic story, but it's still the atmosphere and the fucking set. The amount of work they put into that movie is
Yeah.
fucking nuts. It's awesome. It's really cool. Really, really cool. So like,
Why'd Ridley Scott stop making cool movies?
yeah, well, he just decided to, and somewhere along the way. There was a lot of glitter like an unnecessary amount of glitter in the thing.
Listen, man, it was the 80s.
yeah. No, Tim Curry though, for real, was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
But
he was like
the-
one of the best
the-
like devils ever.
The practical effects were fucking
in film.
amazing. The set was amazing. All the design of this thing was just fucking top notch, whole other level type shit. But yeah, the writing is just kind of like, man,
Yeah.
you know. But so I was glad I watched it again. Although I did like
That would be
after
a good.
after watching it, one of my favorite animated movies from the '80s that people don't ever think about and not very many people have seen is The Last Unicorn.
Yeah, I was just about to say that would
And-
be a really good double feature.
Yeah, and you know what? Kind of feel like they just rode the coattails of The Last Unicorn.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like, it really feels like they did. Because The Last Unicorn's writing is, like, so much better.
Yeah.
And the animation is fucking fire. Because it's, like, really old school
Yeah.
80s, 70s.
It looks like they spent like 20 hours drawing each
Yeah, no, it's
still
just,
frame
it's
of the.
fucking beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it would make a fun double feature for sure. But yeah, after we got done watching it, like that popped up in like next to watch on Amazon, and I'm like, man, like looking at we just watched Tim Curry as like a giant bullhorn devil, and like the big part of The Last Unicorn is the unicorns being driven into the sea by a giant red bull, like
What was
you
what was
lazy fuckers. It was 82. It was
Like
like
6
4 years
years?
before,
Or 4
6
years?
years before, something like that. Yeah.
Legend?
So, and the last thing I'd talk about, me
Yeah,
and Dustin,
3 years. Legend was 3 years later.
Yeah, I feel like they, like we can do this live action. It's a very different story, of course, but
Yeah.
writing way
Vibes.
fucking better. All right, so last thing is the studio. Me and Dustin.
Oh, hell yeah.
Watched that.
I need to
He,
catch up. I only watched like the first 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah, we finished it. It's fucking fantastic, man. It's really good.
Really good production value,
Yeah.
honestly. Like,
Oh,
they
it is.
fucking move the camera
all the time.
Oh yeah, non-stop.
constantly. And
Still, the favorite part of that show to me is the fucking music.
yeah,
just
it's just like
always-
fucking light jazz all the way
Always
through.
running jazz. Like,
Yep.
it never stops from the beginning of the episode to the end. It's one.
Did either of you
fucking
ever
body.
end up watching the Babylon?
Mm-mm.
The with Brad Pitt and
Yeah, we've talked
Margot
about it on
Robbie?
the podcast. I fucking love the movie.
I haven't.
Yeah, I was gonna
watched it
say
yet.
if you like the energy of the studio, that's
Yeah,
kind
no,
of
no,
Babylon.
that actually
Okay.
is true.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Keep
am
that in
due for a
mind.
rewatch.
Okay.
So John
Yeah.
Brown, if you
Oh,
get a
yeah.
Friday here,
yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you
yeah.
have 6 hours,
To me,
Babylon.
Babylon
and
was one of
Once
those
Upon a Time in
movies
Hollywood
that
would be a good double feature.
it took me too long to watch it because it didn't really get fanfare. And then when I watched it, I was just immediately like, how come nobody was talking about this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Everyone just like, oh, it's another movie about
Oh.
making movies. Ugh, who cares? And then like, but they're still really good movies.
Yeah. I did before I forget. But yeah, the studio is fantastic. If you haven't watched it, just the energy. Like, no, it felt like Seth Rogen really was like in his element. Like he cared
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
most.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it felt very genuine for him. You know, like
Yeah.
where a
All
lot
the
of other
cameos
things
were solid.
are. Yeah. Oh yeah, just wonderful cameos. Fucking hilarious at every turn. The Kool-Aid. That episode where they just I don't want to spoil anything. You gotta.
Have you
finish
seen
it,
the Have
Reese.
you seen the casting of Kool-Aid? Have you seen that episode yet? Are you
Is that different than that's they come back to the Kool-Aid?
They come back.
Oh,
to
yeah,
Okay,
Kool-Aid,
no,
yeah.
I haven't seen that
Oh,
one.
Oh yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. Then it's fantastic.
Yeah. It gets into some racial
Yeah.
stuff. Like they're trying to put together the cast and make sure it's like diverse. And
Oh, it's hilarious
it
because
is-
it's
it is fucking it's so
at
good.
the beginning of the episode. It's perfectly fine, and they just sabotage the fuck out of themselves the entire
just
time. It just
overthinking. Like,
yeah,
people
just-
might think that's racist.
just white people going way too hard. Like, oh my
Yeah.
god,
And
we
so they
can't
end
do
up with
this.
a cast that's like infinitely more racist than what you could possibly imagine, just
Yeah.
because they were trying. Not to be
Yeah,
racist.
it's great. One thing I just remembered, I don't want to forget, is I finally got around to watching Us from Jordan Peele.
Oh hell yeah!
And
Is that the only one you hadn't seen of his?
yeah, so far, I think me and the wife had watched a preview, like just the Netflix preview, and didn't commit, but I really fucking enjoyed it. It's pretty fucking fantastic, as the rest of them are.
I think it's the most horror. of
Yeah,
all-
no,
all-
it
all of
it
those
very
films.
much is, and I really dug it. And the lead actress, her performance was fucking
Oh yeah, she's
fantastic.
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 Yeah.
Definitely stood out more than the other characters because the dad his alter version just grunted and shit.
Yeah.
And the alter boy didn't say anything. I guess the alter girl did a good job at being really fucking creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a great time. Very, very horror oriented. The only criticism I have of that is that the like reveal at the end that it was a switcheroo felt like completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know, like because it didn't ruin the ending by any means. The ending was still good, but just to reveal that it like literally did nothing for anything.
I feel
really.
like that movie, it's metaphors and it's like, I don't know, the inner workings of some of the things in universe.
Right.
Like you can't think about it. They are really surface level.
Oh no, it's
Like-
full on rubber mode, like complete no reason on a lot of the shit
Yeah.
for sure. And that's like I'm down for that. I love that part of it. But yeah, just like, oh, it was actually her that did this and she's been here the whole time. And just like it didn't do anything for any of that. It didn't do anything for the ending. It didn't do
Yeah.
anything for the analogies. It didn't really clear anything up
just
or
there.
reveal anything. It was just like that. That's the only criticism I have of any of his films. Actually, really any of his films so far, other than like Nope being like, well, no black guy would actually go into any of that. He'd be the fuck out pretty immediately.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole point of the title. I mean,
I know, but
think-
yeah.
To me, Us is his weakest film, and I think Nope is the most, like, I could return to that one the easiest.
I think-
Agreed, which is weird because the first time that I saw Nope was the first time that you saw Nope, because I saw you at the theater in line buying
Oh,
a
yeah?
ticket. Yeah, I remember that. And I remember I talked to you on Monday afterwards, and you weren't like that huge of a fan, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah,
So
I was a
it's
bit
good-
mixed
it's
on
good
it.
good to
And-
see you come.
And what's the
around.
title of his other?
Get Out. That was his first one.
Yeah, Get Out.
Yeah, I Nope was a really special kind of movie because it like I sat on it for like 3 months, and then I like was excited to buy the 4K and rewatch it, and then
Right.
like yeah, it had to grow on me, but it like
It's
very
got
very
a lot
much
of
grew
layers
on
to it, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of his stuff does, and no, I mean,
I think what
shit's
separates
great.
Nope
I think he's supposed to have a new movie this year.
is that'd be sweet. Is kind of the sub story of this, like the television series with the ape, like
Yeah.
the chimp that goes crazy and like murders like the entire cast or whatever.
right?
Like I think that like little like sub story that like serving is kind of like a foreshadowing for like the main cast is the thing I like the most about that movie.
Yeah.
That movie is also just gorgeously shot.
Oh
yeah.
yes,
Well, I think they all are. Like
Yeah.
he's a pretty fucking killer filmmaker.
yeah.
Man.
John and I were
Like,
talking, and we have huge affections for Tarantino and Wes Anderson,
Mhm.
and we were talking about how like we think Jordan Peele is like starting to like poke his
Yeah.
into that conversation.
No, for
which
sure,
is,
for sure.
conversation about these guys that just don't make bad movies.
Well, and
you know?
it's funny because of his background, and now that I actually because I watched that, we talked about that Keanu movie.
yeah.
It's just his just comedy satire, like that being his foundation makes these even better. And honestly, like that shit's good. Like I wanted to watch more of that. Like I haven't finished Keanu, but that whole fucking movie, I was still just like, it was so fucking fun. It was so good. So
Yeah.
I respect the shit out of that guy as a filmmaker for sure.
No, he has a new movie coming out next year, and it has
Oh, okay.
no
Okay.
plot details or anything.
I'm sure it'll be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I
Oh,
will
yeah.
watch it without hesitation or question. So, but yeah, that's it for me. Whichever you guys wanna go from here.
Yeah, I'll go. I watched. I went to the theater and saw Bring Her Back. I think that's the title. God, it's the most generic, awful title.
Yeah, well,
just
horror
don't know what
movies
it
have a
is.
lot of the worst titles.
I gotta say,
Bring Her Back,
So we're all gonna
Bring
see
Her
it
Home,
again
Get
this
Her
Saturday.
Back.
We've decided.
Yeah, there's a 10
So
o'clock
it'll be
showing.
my second view. Your guys' first, and I can tell you that after watching the film, the title is not getting any better. It's just
Yeah.
a bad title.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
and I think we talked. It's
very
like-
lazy.
It's from the director of
Talk to me.
Talk to Me, and I think that they were trying to go for that like
Yeah,
three word like
it's a catchphrase and a title.
yeah,
and,
and like it just does not work for this movie.
Yeah.
Like Talk to Me kind of works. This really does not work.
Well, see, when I hear "Talk to Me," I immediately remember like everything about the movie. You know, like
Yeah.
the plot and what "Talk to Me"
Well,
means.
I suppose
Yeah.
to be fair, like you haven't seen this movie yet.
No, I haven't. yet.
Okay, well, I mean, so I guess we should watch to see if
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a
I'm just
similar-
going off what Dustin
Yeah,
said.
yeah,
He said it doesn't really
Right.
Yeah,
get better
it's-
after seeing.
I mean,
the movie.
like, I'm not saying that like they're not bringing somebody. Like the whole idea of bring her back obviously is relevant to the
Yeah.
plot, but
Yeah.
like it's not like it's just not like in the forefront. You know,
Yeah.
like it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's not as relevant as like talk to me. Honestly, like I mean, it's just
Well,
they were
it's
trying to get
also,
cute
like-
with a title.
well,
There's a
so I
million
feel
other
like-
things this movie could have been called that would have been better.
I feel like this one's a lot lazier. Like, talk to me.
It's very the title
Talk
is
to
very
me
lazy.
with knowing what the film is makes an amount of sense, but like bring her back is like doesn't show any layers to what's happening in the story, and it feels like just the most generic horror movie.
Yeah.
And I
name
will
ever,
say,
you know?
and I'll be anxious to see if I feel the same after a second viewing, and anxious to see what you guys think after watching it for the first time. I didn't think the story was like anything super unique or anything.
Oh, I'm sure it's probably
to
not.
me,
Yeah.
it was like the horror elements were like super cringy. You know,
Yeah.
like I
No,
winced,
that's
like,
the
multiple
wife and
times.
kids went and watched it, and she said that it felt like true horror. And for
Yeah.
me, the definition of true horror is like actually disturbing.
Yeah,
You know,
but
when
that's
you,
how I felt
when you
with.
are uncomfortable and
Uh,
it sticks with you, that's horror.
This is not a line from the movie. This is a line from me, and it's a line that I'm going to say like 18 times when we're watching this movie in the theater. Is stop chewing on that.
Oh no! Doesn't somebody chew on some glass in Talk to Me too?
There's
Talk
a
to Me
lot
has
of-
some very
there's a lot of
disturbing
people
violence.
chewing
Yeah.
on things they shouldn't be chewing on.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that. Anyway, so yeah, I saw that was the one movie that I really saw. I started watching this new series on Apple, Stick with Owen Wilson.
Another new Apple series.
Yeah, dude,
Goddamn.
they're just banging them out left and right.
Yeah.
So, funnily enough, we're going to talk about 10 Cup here in a little bit when we get to the feature portion of the episode. But very 10 Cup vibe from this. Owen
Yeah.
Wilson plays like a retired
Okay.
like professional golfer who
it's a pretty good role for him.
yeah,
he just fits that
and
vibe
it's
super
also
hard.
a comedy, and like basically he's just like golf pro at a like, driving range, very much like 10 Cup,
Yeah.
and like he kind of comes across this this like teenage kid who he recognizes as talent, and so he kind of talks to the kid and is like all about like being his coach and getting him into like junior golf, and it's almost like the Cobra Kai of golf.
Yeah.
It's kind of like where they started.
I just don't know if I can watch a whole series about golf.
It's not really about golf.
It's about the people.
I do like Owen Wilson. I think Owen Wilson kind of
It's-
got like a weird bad rap in the
Yeah,
early
it's-
2000s.
It's more just a comedy that
I know
happens
Ben
to have,
Stiller too much.
See, I like Ben Stiller too.
It's much less about golf than 10 Cup is about golf. I will say that.
Yeah.
A couple more things. I'm caught up on the new season of Rick and Morty. Only 3 episodes in, but man, this feels like an all-timer season.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
All the
Yeah, that opening episode was a banger.
I don't
so-
think that the 2 follow-ups have been as good as that first one, but they are both.
Well, as long as they're really
good
solid,
episodes.
that's what matters.
Yeah, episode 3 especially it kind of goes back to the like Citadel of Rick kind of a thing, which those episodes have always been kind of good.
Yeah.
But this one they kind of destroyed the Citadel of Rick, so this one's like on an asteroid that has like the remnant
Yeah.
of what's left over
Some
of
Rick's putting it back together.
Yeah.
It's more Morty's.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's kind of, I don't know, it's the right amount of goofy and don't give a fuck. Like,
Right. Which is the Rick and Morty's hallmark.
Oh yeah, for sure. So really digging the new season of that. And then a couple of things I wanted to mention. I've kind of gone back and started watching some series that aired and ended several years ago that I just never got around to. So I've been watching Hell on Wheels.
Yeah. I've
and,
watched this one, and I really, really enjoy it.
really, really solid series. Just really well written, really well acted. The main character, I've literally never seen him in anything else, but he is perfect for the role that he plays. So just a really good banger. And then I saw an ad today that Mr. Robot coming to Netflix July 2nd. I've never seen Mr. Robot, but I've like heard a lot about it. And so like just out of curiosity, I went and looked it up and like, holy shit, is Mr. Robot like the greatest series of all time? It's like you go and look at reviews for Mr. Robot and everybody's just like, the series to end all series, the greatest thing I've ever seen, and like literally nobody has anything bad to say about Mr. Robot.
Okay.
So
I feel like I heard it. I also have never watched even a single episode, but I feel like I thought it was one of those shows that really fell off after the first or second season. But
yeah, I don't know.
I'm
like
curious.
The first
check it
review
out.
I read said I just watched the final episode of this and cried, and mostly because I realized that I will never watch anything as gratifying as this. It's like
That's quite the claim.
He said that the final episode was the greatest theatrical film I've ever seen.
Jesus.
So I'm just like, Jesus Christ, yeah. Like,
Damn.
I'm pretty stoked about this.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that for sure.
so did you start it, or you're just getting ready to?
Hey, I get to start watching it July 2nd when it comes to Netflix.
Oh, July 2nd. I thought you
Yeah.
said June
No,
2nd.
it comes to Netflix July 2nd. So,
Nice.
just a little precursor.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be excited to watch that.
What you got, Reese?
Okay, well, I think the only series I've been keeping up on this past week was Murderbot on Apple, which I just really love that series.
I need to get Apple.
I think it's a little short.
the loop.
The episodes are like 30 minutes, so it's a bit rough to come out weekly because I feel like,
Yeah.
ooh, I really want
100%.
more.
It's like sitcom level.
Yeah, like sci-fi sitcom almost.
What is Apple's monthly charge? If you guys,
It's like the same as everything.
if everything else,
15 bucks, I
20-ish,
don't know.
$8
20-ish
or-
bucks.
or-
I don't know.
I don't know.
Something.
I don't pay for it currently.
I don't think it's
Okay.
that much.
Okay.
It's one of the few that
like
still
10
allows
bucks.
password sharing, so
Okay.
I'm still
10 to 20.
allegedly
Yeah.
borrowing a friend's
Yeah.
password.
Allegedly.
But yeah, Murderbot or Murderbot.
Murderbot.
Just
yeah.
such a fun series.
It kind of reminds me of like, did you ever see that movie Galaxy Quest? Like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
shows our movie is so good.
it's
It is-
kind of.
I've been wanting to rewatch that actually.
It's kind of got like that kind of vibe where it's like sci-fi, but it's like kind
Yeah.
of goofy sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
like a little more grounded.
yeah, the
but
stakes
still,
aren't
yeah.
like that high. Like
No.
it's just
Right.
kind of like it's just like a fun watch, like a super chill, relaxing
Right.
watch. Yeah,
Yeah.
I dig it.
Oh, and the other series I watched was I finished the season 2 of Nathan Fielder's show, The Rehearsal. I don't know if either of you have heard
No,
about this
I
or
have
seen
not at all.
stuff. I loved the first season, but the second season has like gone insane as far as like the stuff he's been doing in the season
Yeah.
and the things. It's
Nathan
kind of
Fielder,
unbelievable.
but
Nathan Fielder.
I'm trying to.
He did Nathan for You. If you ever watched any episodes of that show, it's
I think
very
I'm
similar, but
pretty
not
sure I
as
know exactly
large
who
scale.
This guy is, yeah.
Did you watch The Curse with Emma Stone, the miniseries?
No, I missed that one.
Mostly he does like kind of unscripted things where he's
Sure.
working with a lot of non-actors and stuff.
Yeah.
But this season is a fucking trip. It's wild. He ends up by the end of the season, he has gotten a commercial pilot's license and flies a 747 with 150 passengers on it as like part of the whole experiment of this season.
Yeah.
Like
That's crazy.
it's crazy. It's a really, really good show. Highly recommend.
Nice.
What is this available on?
Max. It's a
Max,
HBO
okay.
show. And yeah, it was getting all kinds of headlines and stuff because he's like kind of going at the FAA. And the show was like made before this year
Right.
with all the shit we've been
Yeah,
going
yeah,
through
yeah.
with the FAA and all that. But it's a really, really worth
Nice.
your time. I think it's only like 6 episodes or something. It's a pretty
Okay.
short season, but and I would recommend watching the first season first. The only movie I saw in theaters this week was Tim Robinson's movie Friendship, also starring Paul Rudd.
How was that?
I loved it. I thought it was really fucking good, but I know you have tried to watch I Think You Should Leave on Netflix before and thought it was cringy or stupid or whatever. So if you don't like Tim Robinson's humor to begin with, you're probably not going to enjoy it.
It's not that I don't like his humor. Like, I don't like him, I think is what it is. I think, like, I don't know. Something about him as a person is off-putting to me.
Well, it kind of works in this movie. I don't think you're really supposed to like him.
That would help.
He's a pretty strange character. But like I said, the vibes and the comedy are very similar to I Think You Should Leave, though it is more a little darker. But the filmmaking is also just pretty great. I love it's an A24 and it looks like an A24 movie.
Nice.
And Paul Rudd is kind of doing the very typical Paul Rudd thing, but also not. And very, very good performance from him. It's like his third A24 movie this year. He was also in Death of a Unicorn.
Well, they're the only people doing interesting things.
That's true.
Everyone.
So Paul Rudd all of a sudden wants to do interesting things.
Yeah. I mean, I guess at some point you got to, right?
You gotta get tired of making money at some point if you're an
Yeah.
artist and just do it for, fucking shits and giggles.
You fucking hope so.
I don't know if either of you are familiar with the comedian Mike Birbiglia,
Don't know. No.
but he's like probably
Maybe.
I don't know, top three, if
I don't know.
not
It sounds
favorite
familiar enough.
working comedian right now. I think he's pretty incredible, and I know a lot of people say his stand-up specials are more like
Okay, I recognize
one
that
man
guy.
shows.
Yeah.
But I mean they're consistently hilarious. They also just get in depth and heartfelt.
Okay.
It's called The Good Life is his new special, and most of, if not all of his specials are available on Netflix. So
Okay.
I recommend pretty much all of them. But this is,
Yeah, I'll check that out for sure.
yeah, really worth your time. It's a little unfortunate to be faced with the idea that I'm in the era of my life where I'm relating to art about your parents dying. But here
Well,
we are.
we all find ourselves there. We do.
Another new release. I guess I've been watching a lot of new releases lately. I texted you guys about this, and apparently it's doing it. Dustin, I don't know if you've watched it yet. It's called Mountainhead. It's a movie that went directly to Max.
I have not watched it yet.
It's for whatever reason it's getting like mixed to negative reviews, which kind of baffled me because I thought it was like a pretty fucking incredible drama comedy. It's kind of a bottle episode, like it's all in one fucking mansion up on top of a mountain. It's
Okay.
just four of the richest guys in the world who are like very much Elon, Bezos,
Yeah.
Zuckerberg
yeah.
types, while
Right.
not being like one for one. You're like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
that's definitely him, and that's
Right,
him.
right,
But
right.
you know,
Just
they're
embodying
Yeah.
those
The
ideas.
elite.
Yeah.
they're the richest people on earth who have like the cannot relate to a normal human, even
Right.
if they tried.
Yeah,
but they think
at all.
they're like
Yeah.
humanity's savior and stuff. And while they're staying up in this, like having a weekend retreat in this mansion, like shit starts, like society literally starts crumbling, and they're just watching it happen over the news and stuff.
Well, that sounds super interesting.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'd love to watch that.
I say, and why I think is getting negative reviews is because the four guys, and it's Steve Carell, Jason Schwartzman are the big
Steve
ones.
Carell?
And then Rami Youssef, who is in Poor Things, if you recall.
Mm-hmm.
And then Corey Michael Smith, who, if either of you watched the Saturday Night movie that came out last year,
No, I
he
wanted
played
to still.
Chevy Chase in it.
Okay.
And stellar performances, but they're all extremely unlikable people because they are
Because the character, I mean,
like
yeah, I mean,
unhumanized
that's the
billionaires.
That's the fucking
the
bit.
point.
Yeah,
And they're
that's
literally
the
like
bit.
making bids on countries and who gets
yeah,
to
yeah,
control
yeah.
Spain.
You did say that if I liked Don't Look Up,
Yeah,
which
I-
what you're describing gives me vibes of Don't Look
Yeah.
Up.
Don't Look Up, and there was another one. It's not as much of a thriller, but it also reminded me of Leave the World Behind.
Okay. Yeah.
Really similar.
No, that sounds fantastic.
yeah.
That premise sounds wonderful.
And it's from the
Definitely.
writer and showrunner of Succession, and it's very similar vibes to that, which again is like the same exact thing
Yeah.
of billionaires being total
Yeah.
idiot.
I
evil
think
people,
that, like, I think at
And
the end of the
everyone loves
day,
Succession, but
most, like, a lot of people just don't want to be confronted with reality.
Yeah.
You know, like, they want it to be as smooth and pleasant as it can be, and, like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not. And
I'm excited to watch it.
yeah, no, now I'm
It's
sold,
funny
like,
too.
I'm ready to
I mean,
go.
I would call it first and foremost a comedy.
Okay.
But yeah, really like it. There's a fucking hilarious scene. They nickname they're all billionaires, but they
Right.
nickname Jason Schwartzman's character Soup Kitchen because he has the least money of the four of them. Well, he's the only one that's not a billion. I think he's got like $500 million, and so they
Right.
call him Soup Kitchen because he's not a billionaire. And he goes on like a rant at one point about how he has nightmares about how he's actually going to end up at a soup kitchen because he'll never be able to have $1 billion. And it's just like, dear fucking Lord, this person actually has like money anxieties just because he doesn't have $1 billion.
And you know what? I'm sure that is a.
I'm very sure. I watched a Japanese fantasy film called Demon Pond.
Demon Pond.
Not a horror movie, though you might think so from the title.
Well, with Japanese, like, as familiar as I am with Japanese shit, like,
Demons are a little different in Japanese.
they are
They're
in
like
just
spirits and
how
creatures.
they present things, and what you would think is horror is just like they're just day to day. Yeah. No, I get it.
Speaking of Ghibli films, I feel like this is kind of as close as you get to live action Ghibli films.
Yeah. Okay.
It's from 1979, so like obviously there's some technical restrictions.
Yeah,
but
for
there's
sure.
still some really, really fun effects and creatures and yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's super cool.
It's should be available on the Criterion channel.
Okay.
that out.
I got to watch Hard Eyes. I agree. I thought that was really fun.
Super fun little romp, man.
Very
like,
fun horror it's kind of the year of horror comedies. I feel like any movie that's not what was the big one? Lilo and Stitch or a horror movie is like bombing at the box office.
Yeah.
But every horror movie is doing good.
Well, and like, dude, as horror progresses, like it's starting to like separate, cream rise on the top or separating the wheat from the trap. Just like we want, like, I think people want really like fucking good horror that is real horror. But if it's not that, it should probably just be a horror comedy.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the middle ground in horror is like fucking dissolving.
Yeah.
Like
it's either a horror movie or a horror comedy.
like something that's just really notable, or something that's just super fucking fun. And Hard Eyes was super fun for sure.
Not as I still think The Monkey was better. But
way better.
Akin to that.
Yeah, way better for sure. The Monkey was fantastic.
I finished the Divergent series. I watched Allegiant. I might be the worst of the three, but they're all pretty terrible and forgettable.
I couldn't
bland
imagine.
movies.
That's
I've
why I
seen all
never
those
watched
too.
any of them.
I don't know why.
I swear
I've seen all of them.
each
I would have
movie.
never watched any of them.
It's just because I like post-apocalyptic shit.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
But,
It's just not really that.
well, here's the thing. There's a good series in there somewhere.
Yeah.
They just, kind of adapted it poorly and casted it poorly, and
Just did
I'll say
everything
this
poorly.
one.
Yeah.
This one especially had some terrible special effects.
yeah.
I don't know if the budget fell off or what. but-
Like the actors in that movie are just kind of bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good actors in there, but they're not at their best. I mean, even this one had Jeff Daniels. It's pretty embarrassing that Naomi Watts and
I don't even remember Naomi.
yeah, there's a couple really major actors in it, and it's embarrassing for them because they're like doing subpar performances in a more than subpar or less than subpar movie.
Yeah.
But I swear each of these movies has like 12 scenes where a room full of people point guns at each other and have an argument. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, people, can you just try and write a better script than like run, point guns.
No.
Run,
no,
point
they
guns.
Can't. They can't do that.
Oh my God. I watched the new Predator movie on Hulu.
Oh, I've been curious about that.
It's an animated film called Killer of Killers.
No, that looked really good. I
It's-
just saw a preview. It looked fucking cool.
If either of you watched Arcane on Netflix,
Yeah, the animation looked
it's
really
it's
similar.
really
yeah.
similar animation to that. So really cool animation. And it's 3 short films or 3 short stories that lead into a larger narrative by the end of the movie, and give major vibes that there will be more of this story, like a sequel or something at the very least.
No, it looked really good. It did. So it's from the director of Prey,
Yeah,
and
who is
when-
also directing the new one coming out called Predator Badlands.
I'm that's what I'm curious about.
Yeah.
This one is exactly what I thought was going to happen after Prey, which is just we're going to put predators in different timelines.
Yeah,
And
new timeline, new
and
predator.
roll with it. And like,
Mhm.
while that is very satisfying, and I'm sure it was satisfying, but that's not exactly what I want from it.
Yeah,
But
Dude,
I
I'm
am
waiting
still.
for Abe Lincoln Predator Hunter.
I am glad though that they're doing Badlands, because it sounds like Badlands is going to be delving a little bit more into predators.
predator culture. It looks
versus
like,
just hey, they're hunting different people.
yeah. And
but-
this the plot of this one does add more to it than just
Just that.
Just-
Well, that's good.
show up, hunt, show up, hunt.
It looked
you know.
It looked really good. from
Yeah,
the
yeah. At the
preview,
very
like,
least, it's worth it for the animation
Yeah,
and the
for
action.
sure.
It's very fun. I also
time to catch up, Predator. Haley's been kicking your fucking dick in.
yeah.
forever.
I don't even
like,
know.
Come
Well,
on.
I don't know anything about really that series that's coming out. I don't know if
Oh, Alien Earth.
Alien Earth. I
I
think
know,
there's
but
a
I've seen the
trailer.
trailer like 4 times, and I fucking love the trailer.
I cannot
Okay.
wait, but
You guys seen the
we'll
trailer
see.
yet?
We'll see. Yeah, I've seen.
There's
it,
a new
yeah.
one, a new trailer, right?
Yeah,
Like a full not teaser trailer.
Yes,
they're
yeah.
they're
I haven't
building.
watched that
They're
yet.
building a lot on it, but yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited.
And that's FX, so it should be on Hulu, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I
think so.
don't know about that. I
think
have
all
YouTube
FX
TV,
things
so
go to
I will
Hulu.
have it from that. But like, yeah, FX,
Yeah.
which is never like FX has really never made a bad series. So
No, it's kind of crazy. I went ahead and watched The Rule of Ginny Pin.
Oh, did you? What do you think?
Yep, I really liked it. I thought
Yeah,
it was
it's super fun, right?
a very unique horror movie.
It is. It
Um,
is, and the performances from the two are just
Yeah.
fucking fantastic.
John Lithgow especially, I thought was pretty
Yeah.
pretty scary. I liked it. I watched.
And honestly, so like the older you get too, like the entire premise is just terrifying.
Yeah.
To get
Oh,
old
yeah.
enough that you just get stuck in this fucking space and like people just forget and like that's it. Like
yeah.
goddamn, like
Ugh.
if you're post or during your midlife crisis, that movie has a special level of horror.
I watched a movie called Cobwebs. No, just Cobweb. This is from the director of The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. This is his newest movie.
Ooh.
And it's the actor who played the dad in Parasite, who's like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Korean actor.
Love that guy.
He plays a film director who's like, I would say like one of the looser Korean films I've watched. It was fun. I definitely could probably use a rewatch. I was getting kind of tired by the end, but it felt a bit more kind of just loose, all over the place,
Yeah.
kind of goofy comedy. Almost could have been a miniseries or something more.
Right.
Because he's just like rushing and kind of a comedy of errors, trying to make last minute reshoots of his movie. and-
Right.
yeah, but still recommend it. I liked it.
I mean, I love that actor and I love that director, so I would definitely
Yeah.
check it out
I
just
don't
for
know why
that.
you were describing that. Maybe it reminded me of Fleety's 8.5.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely like more slapsticky than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some elements to it there. And yeah, I think that's. Oh, and I needed a good old Jackie Chan fix. I watched Mr. Nice Guy from 1997 and delivered on what I needed. Just a nice goofy comedy with some of the most
So,
terrible dialogue.
there
and-
was some Jackie Chan
awesome
movie
action.
playing in the shop the other day, and Isaiah pointed out. I apparently, from what Isaiah says, Jackie Chan got his start in film as an adult film
I think
star.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Hunter?
no, that's not true.
That's not true.
No, you got to start. He started out as a comedian.
Okay. Well, did he at some point do an adult film? Is that confirmed?
I don't know. I know like Sylvester
Not that I know
Stallone
of.
started as a porn star, but like he did 2 movies, you know.
right.
so
Right.
it's
Right.
like
Yeah.
what is what I
That
guess
makes
what
more sense for Sylvester
qualifies starting out in
Stallone
porn.
too. You know, like
He actually acts like he's in a porno.
yeah, exactly. No, it makes so much sense for Sylvester Stallone. Like, that tracks like a motherfucker. Jackie Chan, I was like,
Hey, your pipes need cleaning.
yeah, I'll go on pizza.
I got a sausage pizza, Adrian.
Oh shit.
Uh,
All right, moving on.
But yeah,
That's what we watched.
I think that's that.
all right.
Watch any of those things.
Well, moving on to our double feature here. It was my pick, and I chose a double feature, which focused on a couple of sports comedies because I like that shit.
Yeah.
And also, we were coming off of a really bad Kevin Costner movie, and so
Yeah.
I went with what is actually my favorite Kevin Costner movie, Tin Cup. Reese, you want to give us the lowdown on Tin Cup?
1996, directed by Ron Shelton. What else did Ron Shelton do? Also did Bull Durham. I think you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Tin Cup. A washed-up golf pro working at a driving range tries to qualify for the U.S. Open in order to win the heart of his successful rival's girlfriend. And the tagline is, Golf pro, love amateur.
God.
Do you want both right now or just
I mean,
Tin Cup?
they're never great, but like, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, we'll start with Tin Cup.
Okay.
it sums it up, I guess.
Yeah, so
It does. That's actually kind of like post watching the film, like Love Amateur, like
Yeah, that's true.
that dude like did not.
He's
Like,
pretty
he was
pretty
very,
cringy with
He,
his.
he was
his-
kind of creepy at times.
no, actually, so I actually was a golfer, like up until about the time I met John here, and like this as a golfer, this movie really sings to you because you get like there's a line early on when he has like the therapy or the first lesson with the chick that he wants to get
He's
in.
pursuing.
Yeah. And at the end of the lesson, he says, it's all about taking control of your life and letting go at the same time. And that is like the ultimate like narrative for what golf is.
Yeah.
And like also it's just a good lesson for life, like and that's kind of how it plays out in the movie. And so not that there's like a lot to be taken away from this movie. To me, it's just I just think it's fun as hell, and I think it's the one movie where Kevin Costner plays somebody different than he plays in every other movie that he's in.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's still just the charming guy that everyone can't help but love.
He's like a
they're-
lovable
yeah.
loser. He doesn't play a loser in any other movie.
He's as lovable as in every other movie, but he's not. Yeah, other movies he's not
Yeah.
playing a loser technically, but he's just as lovable as he usually is.
He's a total loser, and he's like bad. Like outside of golf, he's bad at everything. He's
Oh,
not
yeah.
just a love amateur. He's just like he can't even think about anything else unless he converts it to golf first.
Yeah,
Like,
that was a really funny running joke of like he just literally can't stop talking about golf.
Yeah, the entire film, every single scenario. Yeah, no, it had been a long time since I've watched it. I really enjoyed the characters set against each other. Way more dialogue, like way better dialogue than I remembered, like by a pretty wide margin. And a lot of it was kind of making fun of the character to a degree in each scene, because he was just like, he was present in a lot of conversations that he was kind of out of his depth in, but like still was there. But like, no, I really enjoyed the dialogue quite a bit. But yeah, he did get like, there's some moments where this guy was pretty fucking cringy, man.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, that's the
It's like
thing.
Wolf, the 90s, a different time.
Well, what was fun though is he was like, this cringy ass dude was set against this like hyper intelligent, hyper literate, fucking classic feminist, like collegiate level feminist. And
Yeah.
she just like, I mean, it's not like he just was not called out on any of his shit. Like, he was called out on his shit basically the entire time,
But then it's kind of revealed that the only reason she's turning him down is because the only reason she accepts him in the end is because her boyfriend turns out to be a dick. So like,
Yeah.
We get the
that
we
means
get the
all the
sheer,
fucking wearing her down, quote unquote, worked is like,
Right.
ugh.
I love I love Don Johnson in this movie. He's the original Shooter McGavin, and he's so much better at it.
Dude, Don Johnson plays the best fucking dickhole. Like
He really does.
He plays just the best, worst white guy. He really does.
I just love how like 2 or 3 times, like in the movie, it's like don't listen to this guy. When he's off camera, he treats old people and kids like dirt. You know, like they say that like
And
he's
dogs.
like, and dogs.
Yeah,
Don't forget
dogs.
dogs. And then like they actually have the scene of the reveal where she like sees it and he's just like,
and it sums it all up. It's all
It's
three in
all-
one scene, right?
No, you can't buy autograph. You don't bother me while I'm working. I don't come into your office and bother you.
Get that dog out of here.
Yeah, what another
Yeah.
dog?
Yeah.
There was that and some other scenes. It got to like a cartoonish level, and then I was kind of shocked to see it actually came out the same year as Happy Gilmore. Like,
Yeah.
I almost thought it was like, oh, is Happy Gilmore partly like a parody of this movie? And then no,
Yeah.
they came out the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
The thing I will say though, the cartoonish, it does get to a cartoonish level, but like it just gets to that plane and then immediately comes back and never stays there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I Cheech Marin's character
Yeah,
too, like
oh.
so that like there's a very present like fucking full bore bromance too.
Oh yeah.
Just full bore, non-apologetic at all.
Yeah.
Like, fucking like these dudes are basically like, I mean, I mean, you could assume if after they hook up, Cheech might pop up and like they give you scenes. It's like, oh yeah, he's just always there. He's like, Cheech is at the foot of the bed.
Yeah.
I'm here, guys.
Yeah.
No, it was a pretty fun. It was a more fun watch than I expected and I remembered. And the thing I'll say for me for this, as well as this next movie after we rewatched it, is I don't know. Like I've never been a sports guy ever, but I do really appreciate certain things about sports, and this film and The Longest Yard make me appreciate elements of these sports a lot more, and like I enjoy getting the insight into the sport to kind of highlight the things that I can really enjoy out of the sport. It's the same kind of thing with like the pro wrestling thing. Like I've we've talked about it on here before. Like I don't watch fucking pro wrestling at all, but like a lot of the shit around it, I've always been like super fascinated by, and I can identify with parts of it. And this film gave me that same thing for golf, and The Longest Yard gave me the same thing for football, which I've been kind of intrigued by elements of football as well. So like, I definitely, I mean, overall, I got a very, very fun experience out of watching these movies. But yeah,
Yeah, it's probably the most intrigued I've been towards golf. But yeah, no.
no, I mean,
I think I don't know how much we want to. Are you ready to kind of talk about
Yeah,
both?
we can split into The Longest Yard a little bit here. Yeah, go ahead and give us a slowdown.
The second film we watched, 1974's The Longest Yard, directed by Robert Aldrich. A football player turned convict That's such a weird. It sounds like a choice. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm done being a football player. I'm going to be a convict now.
well, I mean, we've seen some good examples in the last 20 years of some shit going down. So.
A football player turned convict organizes a team of inmates to play against a team of prison guards. His dilemma is that the warden asks him to throw the game in return. This is like, damn, spoiling the last like 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Is that the warden asks him to throw the game in return for an early release, but he is also concerned about the inmate's lack of self-esteem. And the tagline is,
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's survival of the fiercest and funniest. Yeah,
That's a
that's
really bad tagline.
it's-
Yeah, it's
Damn.
pretty
that was
generic.
bad.
And directed by Robert Aldrich, who also did The Dirty Dozen, which is pretty popular 70s film.
Yeah.
For some reason, I had it in my head that it was the same director as Bad News Bears, but that is not the case.
I mean, there's definitely a similar vibe.
Yeah.
I see where you can get there.
Sports comedy.
To me, of the two, this movie is less of a sports movie than
Really?
than Tin Cup. I think so. Yeah, I do. I think that like
Yeah, I'd probably agree. Yeah.
like to me, you can almost make the case that this is like a Rise Against Authority kind of a movie. I mean,
I mean, I'd agree up until the actual football game starts.
yeah,
And then
which is like the last 45 minutes of the movie.
1/3, I checked, 1/3 of the movie is that football game, which
Yeah.
I thought was kind of insane.
Well, football takes a while. So
Now,
it's
granted,
true to form at least.
it was pretty fun. Just like basically the whole idea of the movie is getting to watch prisoners wail on prison guards, and that's pretty
well,
fun.
and that's what was fun about like this setup is that like that's all it took for all these prisoners. Like you could be the shadow guards. Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
let's go. But no, it was it kind of did the same thing for me. It just shown like you got to look at the game a little bit in a different perspective and made it kind of make sense. But no, the concept of this film like is pretty wild, really. Like for this all to line up, like
this
but
has
it
to be
also
in
makes
Texas.
but it also makes
Yeah.
sense a lot because like prisons are like private entities and like it's about money and like so a prison warden's like, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
also own this and
Yeah.
like, well, I'm
Yeah,
going to
no.
use you as slave labor for this end. I'm already using you for slave labor over here, so I may as well do this too.
The idea of like a prison warden, especially if it was in the state of Texas, like that like that owns a semi-pro football team and then hires all of the like semi-pro players to be guards at his prison makes sense to me because semi-pro players don't make a lot of money. So
No, I mean really like
you would have to do something.
It's
like
a concept that I like hadn't heard, but when you really like just draw it out on paper, like every single part of it makes a bunch of sense. Like how would this guy have money to own a pro football team? Well, because he gets slave labor from his fucking laborers. Like and then he can give these guys jobs guarding the laborers. Like you could still just use the people. Like no, it checks out.
Yeah, I liked The Longest Yard. I think I was enjoying it more than Tin Cup up until I thought like I was like, damn, we're really gonna watch this whole football game, huh?
Yeah.
It's like they really could have cut down on that a bit. But I like not even. I think it was just too much football concentrated all in one spot. Where
Yeah.
like it was what was going on.
once it gets to the
football.
game, it gets to this weird like multiple split screen thing.
Yeah.
Which I remember the first time I saw it when I was a little kid. This is the movie that got me into football.
Right.
But I remember watching it as a little kid, and I thought that was weird at the time. But watching it now, I actually think that ages really well because, like, I think about like when you watch sports now, it's like sports bar, multiple screens,
Yeah.
or like at home, split screen, and like they didn't really have that in the 70s, but
No.
like it was kind of ahead of its
Yeah,
time
yeah,
because
yeah.
that is how sports is. You're watching several things at once.
Absolutely,
and You're watching the action on the field while you're watching the reaction from the coach on the sideline.
With
like,
CGI fucking addition to what you're watching on field.
well,
fucking-
today,
Yeah.
No
Well, I'm just saying,
CGI
like,
there in the 70s.
well, no. But they didn't even do that in the 70s, like you said.
Yeah.
But like, it's just they definitely knew the present. What like it? Yeah, they had an idea on what presentation would be.
Yeah.
But yeah, like what John said, like the one dude that was like trying to show up, Paul Crew, played by the great Burt Reynolds.
The late and great.
Yeah, like
Also,
like,
weird as fuck seeing that dude without a mustache.
yeah, I know it's like
weird, so weird.
I don't think it's Burt Reynolds' best performance. I think that distinction belongs to Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
But like this is like an iconic performance, and
Yeah.
it's the only it's his best performance without a mustache for sure. I don't even know if there is another one.
Yeah.
But I just really love this movie. It got me at an early age. It was kind of like one of those like family movies that we would watch from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, at the time, I could see this being a very like, especially for sports centric households, like,
Yeah. And I don't know. Had either of you seen the new one?
That's the only one I've seen, but not since it
No,
came out.
I
which was
have
like
not seen it
2005 or
because
something.
so I didn't give a fuck about football, and by the time he made that, I didn't give a fuck about Adam Sandler, so I did not watch that at all.
I'm glad you didn't watch it. It's such like it's so bad, like compared to this movie. Like it just it just kind of shits over like because this is kind of a serious movie. I mean, like really. I mean,
Yeah, there's some very serious things that happen in this movie for sure. I was thinking about bringing that up too.
Yeah, and like just the beginning when how he
the
gets
movie
into
is just
prison,
kinda serious, yeah.
where he kind of like fucking assaults like his girlfriend and steals her car and then
Yeah.
dumps it in the river.
Yeah.
Like, which by the way, one of my favorite lines in the movie is like when the cops actually catch him and he's drunk at the bar and he's like, "Why'd you dump her car in the river? I couldn't find a car wash."
Yeah, they definitely sanitize the beginning a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
I think he just steals his.
Well,
his
and dude gets
girlfriend's
fucking
car.
burned
Yeah,
alive.
it goes on
Also,
a-
like
a-
super prison trick murder
Oh,
motherfucker
yeah.
gets burned alive. They
Yeah,
have
well,
that.
see, that's the dumb thing. They keep that in the movie.
They do?
keep some of the
it's
other
not the
really.
same
Yeah.
though. It's like it's more of like a
really
like,
cartoony, probably.
It's
that's
like
what
in
Adam
Happy
Sandler
Gilmore
does.
when the dude with the one hand dies. You know, it's like cartoony
yeah.
like that, and like to me like my favorite like the funniest part in the movie is with the big dude who's also in Happy Gilmore, by the way.
Right.
The ginormous
Yeah, yeah,
individual when he like clotheslines that dude. And
Yeah.
he's like, I think I broke his fucking neck.
Yeah.
And like in Adam Sandler movie, that line is, I think I made him shit himself,
Yeah.
which is just infinitely less funny.
Yeah.
And
I guess they didn't think murder was as funny.
yeah.
Well, they were
exactly.
they were probably trying to keep it. What was it rated?
PG-13,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
exactly,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Adam Sandler definitely fell off whenever he was straying away from the R rating.
Yeah.
Also, Burt Reynolds is in the Adam
Well-
Sandler one. He plays
I
the
could see
coach.
that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He conceded.
He wanted a payday. He was an old man.
Oh yeah, I don't think Burt Reynolds was ever super artistic in his choices.
Oh no, he was just he was like the action movie star, and really he was kind of a sports star. He was kind of the Kevin Costner of his time.
Yeah, he was in Smokey and the Bandit and Cannonball Run. I
There
feel
were
like
like car chases in every movie this guy's ever been in.
I want to watch The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. I bet I'll fucking love that because Dolly Parton is like the fucking bomb.
I think you would love that. I've seen that movie probably like 100 times.
if it's anything like what was that one?
Rhinestone.
Rhinestone. I'll fucking love it, man.
Oh, I mean,
when's
like-
Rhinestone getting the Criterion?
I don't think that's ever happening.
God damn.
I think you will enjoy The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. I think it's kind of a solid. It's one of my mom's favorite movies, actually.
I'm still kind of surprised it got away with the title.
I mean, it's accurate if you see the movie.
But like,
You just talk about the horror, like having the word horror.
yeah,
and
like I don't know how mainstream it was, but it's Dolly Parton.
yeah.
But like when Kevin Smith
She's the madam.
did that movie with Bruce Willis called Cop Out. He originally wanted to call it Couple of Dicks, but the censors wouldn't allow it.
Huh.
Which, especially if you're not going to put a K on it, like DIC, short for
Yeah.
detectives.
Yeah.
And so literally, that's why he called it Cop Out, because like, well, it's a cop out of a title.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's a pretty bad title.
I think it's a pretty bad movie. I haven't seen it though. But yeah, I do need to watch more Burt Reynolds. I've like this and Deliverance are the big ones I've seen.
Oh, he's in Deliverance. I haven't seen that.
Oh yeah, he's like
In
the
a long
main
time.
character in Deliverance.
Ah, not realize.
To me, Boogie Nights, which I'm sure we'll feature on the spot. Like if one of you guys don't pick it, I'll probably fucking pick it at some point.
It's
Yeah.
not going to be the first Paul Thomas Anderson movie I'd pick, but yeah. No, I've seen Boogie Nights. That's that. But I mean, like of his like classic movies, I haven't seen Smokey and the Bandit or Cannonball Run.
I can
Hooper.
imagine. Yeah, I mean, I feel like
Oh, I've seen all those.
those movies.
What's the
are-
one he does in a movie called like I Need to Have Sex with You or something? It's like I want to get you pregnant. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think that's the name of the movie.
Oh, here it is. Oh, it's called Paternity, and the tagline of the movie
That is not at all what you said.
Well, the movie is called Paternity. The tagline is called "He wants you to have his baby." That's what the
Okay.
tag. And it was
Okay.
like it
Yeah.
was an Uncle Sam type, like "We need you" poster, but it's him saying he needs you to have your baby.
Yeah. You need to have my baby. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, I will say he's just more of a charismatic figure than like an
Oh
great
yeah,
actor.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and-
for sure.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that shows up in everything that he's ever done.
That's kind of all you needed to be.
Yeah.
To be an movie star, like up until maybe like the late 1970s.
Yeah. Well, it still probably like means a lot. Like it probably levels the playing field quite a bit. Just being really charismatic. Still.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't think that ever goes away. Like that's a lot
No.
of just what it is.
I mean, that's like fucking why people like Ryan Reynolds. You know.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
charismatic.
yeah. No, it's the same thing every time, and he's just fucking charming. You
Yeah.
know? Like
And handsome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see. That's the thing. I don't know if we have as many of those guys who are just like, oh, you're famous because you're really fucking charming. But like,
Not as
you're
many.
not
It's
the
hard to be charming
most.
if
You
you're
know
not
what?
good-looking.
Good
Not
looking,
as many,
yeah.
but there's just generally not going to be as many because
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
like being fucking somewhat just really just physically like off-putting is probably much more uncommon than just put a generically good-looking guy. Someone like Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
But there's guys like that too. That
Well, yeah, I love
Make
those
it
character
themselves.
actors where like some weirdo director probably has a friend of his like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you a fucking movie star.
Yeah.
Come along, Steve Buscemi.
I mean, I kind of like good character actors.
No,
Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
they're the
even
best.
guys that play the same thing in every movie, but like, you guys know who Hector Elizondo is? Like that guy to me has always been like a solid character actor. Like
I'm not recognizing the name, but
I
I'm
bet
sure I
I
recognize
bet I'll
him.
recognize him.
Look him up, dude. Like
Hector.
he's just that kind of guy, like just somebody that kind of like doesn't really do voices, doesn't like
Right.
he kind of just plays them. Like
Hector what?
I think it's Elizondo.
Do you know anything he's in?
He's in like Pretty Woman. He's in Overboard.
Oh, I think I
You know who you know
Yeah.
I'm talking to just from those two references.
yeah, he's in a shit ton of those like Gary Cooper comedies, isn't he?
Yeah,
Not Gary Cooper.
I think I know who. I think I can think of who it is.
Yeah, but like in Overboard, he plays like a trash collector, and in Pretty Woman, he plays like the manager of a hotel,
Right.
and like it's kind of the same character in both movies,
Yeah.
but like he's good at it and it works. You
Well,
know,
yeah,
Like,
Gary
yeah.
Marshall was the director. I was
There's,
thinking
yeah,
of.
no, I mean,
He's in both
it's
the
needed. It's
Princess Diaries movies and Runaway Bride. Yeah, he's very charming. Is he still alive?
I don't know.
Yeah, I like him. I love a good character actor.
That's,
Sam Rockwell, I feel like, is one of those. Like, even though he's got the charm and the honestly like traditional handsome good looks, he's always felt a bit more like a character actor.
Do you really feel like he's got charm? Because to me, he's like the loser version of Edward Norton.
Yeah, I guess not exactly charm, but like
he's
like,
like
a
the
likability.
Rounders Edward Norton, but like that in every movie.
Yeah.
you know, like down on his luck, kind of like
Yeah,
You don't
like you
really
kind of
wanna root
you
for
kind of
him,
feel
but,
bad
like,
for him. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That was weird. It got bright in here.
yeah.
Love a good character actor.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up on the features
Yeah,
here.
the one thing I'll say, my final thoughts on these
Yeah.
two films
Final thoughts. Let's do
is
final
just
thoughts.
as a non-sports person, like if you ever have not watched media based on sports, like it's still be really good. You should watch it.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, I wanted to mention: did you go back and finish the movie?
Yes, we did.
Longest Yard?
Yeah, we did. I did get tuckered out that first.
Yeah. Well, that too. But
Yeah.
no, we lost power twice watching this movie. Once with like 15 minutes left.
And once with like 90 seconds left.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
literally like 2 minutes left of the
Right.
movie. It's like, well, that's it. We're out of here.
Yeah.
Did you get to watch the last 90 seconds?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I thought that final scene is kind of like when he like goes to grab the game ball and they're like murder this motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's
No,
like
the ending, was I really liked exactly how it ended, where they ended it.
yeah,
Just let it be the story that it was, and no recap. You know.
yeah.
You don't need any of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really,
watch these
really,
movies.
really came through with the team camaraderie there, where the dude just decided to like do 20 years in prison to let his teammates down.
Yeah.
Really good leader there.
No, that's it. Probably one of my favorite scenes when he's like, "What did you do to get?
Was it worth it?
Was it worth it?" Yep.
For me, it was. He's like, "Give me my fucking shoes."
That feels very relatable. I mean, at some point,
Yeah.
is 20 years in prison different than 10 years in prison?
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
we're
A lot
in
of the
here.
characters in that show were great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I recommend watching.
That's
For sure.
gonna do it. Reese, what should we go to theater to see?
We should
I
go.
guess you've got the floor because you're picking the next one too.
Yeah. Let's.
It's fucking
I don't know. It's one of the. What's wrong?
nothing. Just I was nerding out for a second. I wanted some magic nonsense. Just thought about a card and
Well, it's looking like a pretty packed theater lineup this week.
Okay.
Lots of returning stuff, lots of remakes, lots
as
of
always,
sequels, and
sequels
lots
are
of
better
horror
than
movies.
remakes. Sequels are better than remakes.
Yeah. Honestly, depending on who's doing the remake, but that could be said.
Depending
for anything.
if a film really needs it. I mean,
Yeah.
there could be a lot of things I'd be excited about a remake.
So the Christian movie we have this week is called The Last Rodeo.
Doing this.
I mean, we should.
Yeah, I talk about them all. Man.
Are there any Indian movies after the Christian movie?
Not this week, but there were like 3 last week. It was kind of weird. Yeah, we must have the crowd for it here.
Hey man,
That's
if
cool,
there's
you know.
equal representation.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool about our town. There you go.
Yeah.
Diversity.
That's pretty awesome. They obviously make money here, so that's cool. We have Thunderbolts is still in theaters. I would still put it in the top 4 movies worth seeing in theaters right now. Final Destination Bloodline still in theaters. That movie has now become the highest grossing Final Destination movie of the franchise, so that's very fun. That means we'll definitely be getting more.
Yeah. That's some Count of Monte Cristo shit, dude.
Yeah.
We're doing that for 100 years. Boys.
Starting to think these destinations are not fun.
Yeah.
Second to Final Destination.
You know,
Penultimate
I
destination.
just want to piggyback on the Final
It's the
Destination.
destination
I'll
that
never
counts.
forget, my favorite comedian of all
Eternal
time
tagline.
is George Carlin, and he used to give airline shit about the term Final Destination. He's like, because it's an extra word, you don't need the word final. That's literally what destination
Yeah.
means.
That's where you're
Like,
going.
If you
Yeah.
haven't gotten to where you're going, then you're not there yet. So you don't need the word final.
So they should just change the title to Destination.
Yeah.
Destination 6.
Next level. Just wait for it.
Anyway,
We still have Lilo and Stitch in theaters. If
That's going to be going for a while. And it's going to
yeah,
make a shit ton of money.
Probably be playing in August.
As a tattoo artist, I can confirm people love the fuck out of Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, I kind of wonder which
that
would.
brings you so much tattoo business.
Yeah, well, you know what should happen since they have so much tattoo business? Somebody should make fucking Disney colors.
Well, you're
Make
not going
me
to
match these animators' colors with the
Yeah,
ink that
honestly.
I have.
You're
Like,
You're going to have to do like
somebody do it.
photorealism Lilo and Stitch with this live action one.
I
Yeah.
bet 70% of the people who buy tickets for Disneyland have tattoos of a Disney related
Fuck yes,
character.
they do. They have a shit ton. Every person, like every adult member that goes to Disneyland, probably has like 5 to 10 Disney.
My
Like legit. I'm not even exaggerating.
my
for sure.
10th grade
I'd
science
put money on
teacher had a tattoo of the red guy from the Looney Tunes. That's just a big like heart-shaped ball of hair.
Yeah, that
yeah.
guy.
He I guess he was only in 2 episodes. He like did Bugs Bunny's nails in one, and he did his hair in the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, she had a tattoo of that
Well,
guy,
that's
actually.
not a Disney character.
It is not a
so-
Disney, but it's Looney.
That's yeah.
It just got me thinking of
Yeah,
like old school cartoon
Yeah.
tattoos.
I know, like
You can
all
go deep on
characters
Disney,
are it's just like IP, right? It's fucking in this day and age, it's just like a logo. But like Disney stuff, especially, just feels like
It feels kind of dirty.
It just feels like getting tattoos of like fucking Clorox bleach. You know, it's like you're a
Right.
NASCAR driver. These are my sponsors.
Right.
It just
I don't know. Maybe it's gotten better because technically every Disney tattoo,
Well, hey,
like
dude,
every
you
Star
know what?
Wars tattoo is
You
now
know
a
what?
Disney tattoo.
Whoever would get any of those tattoos, however mundane the thing may be, at least that shit is probably actually genuine because they probably love that product that fucking much.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, I'll say, like, I'm the guy doing those
the
tattoos,
people
but
who get the monster logo,
yeah, you know what? In that moment, like, it's not a good tattoo. He's probably gonna get it covered, but like, you know, he loves it.
It is. It's just a little disheartening how often it
Probably done
really.
a lot of monster logos.
I'm good.
Have you?
I mean, a grip, but not as many as like. I have literally tattooed a million skulls. A million skulls.
How about stitches? How many
Skulls are like the perfect
stitches?
design.
Oh, I've got 24 plus stitches for sure.
Yeah. I bet Gene has done just as many or more.
Yeah. No, you
And she
do.
probably fucking loves it.
You probably don't do stitches anymore. Those just get passed down.
Yeah. Now there's this chick that
You're gonna want to talk
likes
to
doing
Gene.
cute stuff, and it's like she takes the cute stuff. Like, I don't do. People ask me if I draw cartoons. I'm like, I just really can't do it.
I really wonder what if they had just kind of remastered the original movie.
So it's really like I don't know why I don't understand it. Like, you're just replacing some animation with human people.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't know why you get out of bed if you're a fan of the first thing.
I
to
just
see
don't.
that.
Same with the How to Train Your Dragon. I don't understand.
Which this is a good segue because I'm sure this is on your list.
As
This is coming out this
Yes,
week.
that's the big
ridiculous
one
a
this week.
word superfluous is, these movies are like to me the definition of superfluous.
The
Yeah.
early
Just
returns
don't
on that.
fucking need it, and it's ridiculous.
The early returns on the live action dragon movie are like kind of insane. Like,
high.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like
the
the
same
IMDb
thing.
score of the live action version is higher than the animated one, which
Well,
is fucking.
But they made the same movie.
Yeah,
People
they
just
did.
liked it just as much. It was
Yeah.
just a cash
I mean,
grab.
I
Like,
would.
They swapped the thing out.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna guess that it's the same for the Lilo and Stitch movie.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's got a 3.1 on Letterboxd. That's not really low.
yeah.
And so like
It's a moneymaker, boys. Like, that's what it is.
I think we obviously me especially we just get in our little sound or echo chambers, and I think like, well, no one can possibly be wanting to watch these movies, but then they're like Lilo and
no.
Stitch is the highest fucking.
I know
grossing
a
movie of the
million
year.
people want to watch them. I can't understand it. That's all I was saying. That was my perspective. Is I
It's-
can't wrap my head around that,
it's-
but I understand
yeah.
and know absolutely these things are bangers. Like,
It's
psychology.
just really disheartening how often
familiar.
it is. It does seem like, well, I guess the only way to get people to pay for shit is to connect it to an IP they're familiar
Yeah.
with.
It's
Same with
familiarity.
fucking
man.
Magic.
It's
Yeah,
the
it's
only
kind
thing
of
that
annoying.
matters is just familiarity.
Can you just try something new for
need
once in your
licensing.
fucking
Yeah.
life?
There's
Jesus
no licensing.
Christ.
There's no life.
That is not the majority. That's the problem with being an artist. Is like if you want to try to make a thing that is just you, like that doesn't pay your bills.
Yeah.
You know. Like,
because I don't. It
people
seems like
like
such a mental
the same
disconnect
things.
when it's like, oh man, I love that movie. It's so good. Give me more like that. No, just exactly that. It's not anything new. It's like, well, don't you realize you wouldn't have found that movie you loved if you didn't try something new?
Psychology, man. The majority of people they're animals. They're creatures. Creatures of habit. They like familiar things.
Anyway, more sequels in theaters. We've got
More
Mission
familiar
Impossible
Bajillion.
8. I think it's 8. We've got
Mission Impossible. Who gives a shit? It's the same as
It's Mission Impossible Final something, which will probably not be
again.
the final.
Yeah.
This should just be titled Mission.
yeah.
Just MIX.
Yeah.
Mission The Reckoning is what this one should be called.
Number. That's all it is.
Karate Kid Legends.
I think I'll watch that.
If I get the chance,
I
I'm
think I'll watch
still
it.
gonna
I'm not.
watch
I'm
this.
maybe not in theater, but I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
You guys,
Eventually.
we're gonna go see that movie Saturday night.
yeah.
There's a small chance I will have already been to that theater to watch Legends on Saturday. That
Cool.
might be a thing.
I hope you
an
get a
all-theater
chance.
I've been enjoying these Saturday matinees by myself. They're
Hell yeah.
Take
they're
advantage
very-
of the movie theater, man. Especially
man.
like you grab a beer.
It's probably
there now.
like depressingly
Try
empty
to
in
steam it up
there.
with some vape.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Like nobody else is in there. It's great.
Yeah.
Like it's like the best time to go.
Yeah.
Another sequel, kind of prequel, midquel, is From the world of John Wick,
Oh fuck. that.
Ballerina.
Dude,
I just
I've
don't
seen
care.
that trailer
I
like
don't
15
care.
times, and it looks like the worst goddamn movie I've ever seen.
I would
Like,
watch the exact like
everything
so-
about it looks repulsive.
So what
Yeah.
that like that archetype of that film? I'd rather watch a '70s archetype of that film than that like a
Yeah.
modern
Fucking
archetype.
Charles
of that film.
Bronson Death Wish.
I would,
Any
yes,
Death Wish
I
movie.
would rather watch Death Wish than fucking John Wick. Like
Yeah.
it's just less. That's not even the other thing is not interesting, but this is less interesting than that. Like it's just
A friend invited me to go see it, so I am going to watch it because I don't really turn down anyone who asks me to go to the movie theater.
oh yeah, and you
But,
shouldn't,
Yeah, tomorrow. So hopefully I won't fall asleep. I like literally it
I
just
hope
doesn't
I
look
hope
super
it's as
interesting.
bad as I think it's going to be.
I hope it's more interesting than just the normal John Wick.
It will be
movies.
John Wick
I don't want it
plus.
to be good. I want him to
Yeah.
stop this.
That's what it's gonna be. It's you still have John Wick.
Johnetta Wick.
They couldn't have just
Dude,
taken
it's-
John
it's-
Wick
it's
out of the
fucking,
thing. He still has to be there.
Yeah.
That series is like the Fast and the Furious, man. Like they
That's what
replace
it's
all the
becoming.
actors and they can still keep going
Yeah.
because meatheads go see it.
Yeah. It's again familiar.
Yeah.
It's familiar. Everything's familiarity.
No, yeah, it's the friend who invited
Yeah,
me
let
is
that
someone
sink in. That's
who,
my everyday.
who is excited for any new
That's what I
Fast and
do for a
Furious
living.
movie.
Give people
The what?
familiarity.
Wait,
I said the friend who invited me to watch Ballerina is someone who is excited for every new Fast and the Furious
Oh.
movie. So
So this is your popcorn flick. Fellow.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, you know what? If it's popcorn flick.
yeah,
See that movie? That's why there should be theaters that are just bars, because that's like good place for that.
Yeah.
It's just bars. We're just hanging out drinking like it's some fucking
When we
background
go see
noise, some shit exploding.
Bring Her Back on Saturday night, I'm gonna get some popcorn, and as I'm eating it, I'm gonna be like, "Stop chewing on that."
As long as popcorn's fine. One of the last times, I think it was when we went to Romulus. She brought snuck in snacks, but they were in
do
plastic
that.
bags. No, I've forbid it since.
Support the theater.
I forbid it since. Trust me. Also because it was incredibly fucking annoying because they're in bags and the introduction of the film was completely ruined by noise, which is like the most atmospheric film.
Yeah, there's
You
a reason
need
that the candy at the theater is in boxes.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah.
There's a new Western coming out. I know nothing about it. Looks kind of low budget. It's
That's fine. It's a
Samuel
Western.
Jackson and Pierce Brosnan.
What?
Okay, yeah.
The most unlikely pair is it Butch and Sundance?
It doesn't-
it's-
that doesn't
it's-
need to be high budget. Just give me them in a Western. That's
It's called The Unholy Trinity, is what it's called.
Oh wait, who's the third person?
to be revealed.
Brandon Lessard.
Who the
Oh.
fuck is that?
He
He's
puts the
lesser.
less and lesser.
Yeah.
Let's see. Described as a tale of revenge, dark secrets, and buried treasure, the film is set against the turbulent backdrop of 1870s
I
Montana.
would
Just
say that I would
classic
watch that
Western.
instead Saturday morning, but that doesn't sound like something Warsaw's going to get.
This? No, this is what's
This is
playing in
off of
Warsaw.
North Point?
Yeah.
They're
It's
getting
just
this?
it's a classic
Yeah.
Western is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it doesn't sound
Yeah,
like anything
Oh,
too fancy.
Yeah,
but I
it's
mean,
just
That
classic
sounds kind of
Western.
better than the Karate Kid thing for my purposes because nobody's going to be in there.
Yeah.
Like, I will
It-
literally be the only person.
if it helps your decision, I believe our friend who works at North Point, he said this is going to be there for like 1 week. So
Yeah.
Karate Kid will probably be a lot longer.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yes.
maybe, yeah,
Yeah.
go see The Unholy Trinity.
I mean, yeah.
Of course, we've got in both 2D and 3D
Ooh.
How to Train Your Dragon. Yep.
I think I'm going to see that on Sunday with the missus.
Oh, damn, you're going to do the hat trick?
I have seen. I have seen the second and third How to Train Your Dragon movies in the theater because she loves them, and so it was one of those she made me watch the first one before we went and watched the second one, and
Yeah.
then watch the third. So the animated ones were good movies.
Yeah.
So
I'll say between the two, this one looks more interesting to me than Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch has nothing.
I really don't have any interest in Lilo and Stitch.
It just brings nothing. I know it's only going to be a
Dragons are cooler.
downgrade. This
Dragons are
one
cooler.
looks enough like it could be. They have to alter the story to some degree, or you're going to see the same visuals,
So,
just like
I had a conversation
larger scale.
earlier
So,
today about people complaining about it not being the same, but and that's kind of to the point I was making earlier. It's Like, why would you want to fucking see the exact same movie?
Yeah.
You know, like you
The
wanna
only
just
thing-
watch the same thing with character swap. Like, you should expect some difference.
I would hope How to Train Your Dragon has some changes, like even minor ones. The changes I've heard about Lilo and Stitch sound like you're kind of negating the point of the original story, which is like,
Oh, if that's
just
the case,
fucking-
If that's the case, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a live action version of Lilo that I wouldn't hate.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like kids, like
There's a lot of kids in that movie, which means they're all probably going to be
kids are
terrible and
horrible
annoying.
for like live action. Like,
Yeah, because Lilo is voiced by a child, I believe, in the movie, but she is like so cute and like real and believable and not annoying.
And there are some good child actors.
yeah.
At the end of the day, there's a
They're few
handful.
and far between.
There are a handful
You aren't gonna
there.
get a good child
No.
ensemble, that's for sure.
Hell
Like,
no, I agree with that. But there are some good ones.
They're more of like a hindrance on your film than anything most of the time.
And then the last movie coming out is a new A24 drama called The Materialists, or just Materialists. This is from the writer and director of Past Lives. So I have high hopes for it. And the cast is Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans, and Pedro Pascal. So nothing to shake a
Pedro
stick at.
Pascal.
I'm down for
Dakota Johnson, I don't think is like actually good, but
I think she is definitely good in the right hands in like big blockbusters and stuff. Like Madam Web, I think it was the definition of phoning in a performance for a paycheck. So like I don't judge her on stuff like that or 50 Shades, but her dramas and like indie comedies and stuff, I think she's really great in.
I honestly don't think I've ever really seen her perform. In anything.
Yeah, and you haven't seen Bad Times at the El Royale? You should watch that.
No, you know what? I missed that one. I really wanted to watch that.
You'll like it.
yeah, that's,
Yeah.
you know.
Thank you for reminding me of
yeah,
that.
add that to the-
I missed that.
Add
movie.
that to a
pissed me
possible
off.
Friday night list, John, because I've seen it, but I need to I saw it once in the theater, and like I was kind of disappointed, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because,
it
Like,
ages
you
well.
see the trailer and you think, man, this movie's kind of got Tarantino vibes,
Mhm.
and then you watch the movie and it's not that.
Well,
So-
yeah, but
yeah.
I still was just like,
So I kind
I
of
was
think part
super
of it was
interested
that
in
like
watching it.
I was up here, I was at a, like I had
Well, and not even up here, but
I came in
it's
with
like
high
you were over
expectations.
here
Yeah.
and the movie's over here, you
Yeah.
know. And that's
Yeah.
that's the thing we come to time and time again, where you pick a lane for the advertising and hope that people go see it based on that lane, and then
Yeah.
they're
No, I-
disappointed when it's not.
I could see
lane.
that, but I was very excited when I saw it. I didn't necessarily when I saw the preview think on that level. I just thought it was something I was interested in. But I get that.
It's
but
got
I still really like. I
really
looked
great-
at I just downloaded the movie poster as a reminder to myself. So I was really
Yeah,
with that.
it's got great
Uh,
performances,
The
great
cast is
dialogue.
fucking sweet.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I mean, John Hamm's in there, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
He's he dies in like the first 20 minutes. Sorry,
That's cool.
spoiler. I just think it's funny.
all
Jeff
right.
Bridges.
Yeah.
What's the guy?
Also,
he's
yeah,
been
Jeff
blowing up
Bridges, like,
lately.
the Thor guy is in
Well,
it.
Chris
okay.
Hemsworth.
You know what?
But
He's
the guy
good when
he was
he's
in,
good.
he's in Thunderbolts, and he was in.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a million.
He's a
people
nepo
in it.
Yeah, well, yeah,
baby,
no,
but
it looked
he's-
like
he's
that.
really
It was
charming.
like the Hollywood ensemble fucking.
Yeah, that's
noir
why,
flick,
that's kind of
you
why
know?
it reminded me of a Tarantino.
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
'cause It's
Yeah.
like you have that, you know. Like,
No, I'm excited to watch it. I'd be earmarked that.
I put it in like the same area as like Bullet Train,
Yeah, that's what I would expect. Yeah.
but more
All
like.
right, I need to
creepy.
rewatch it.
Yeah, rewatch it.
I know we said something else earlier, but like that's also possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very high hopes for the Materialists because I loved Past Lives, but I'm gonna try and not go into it thinking like this has to be as good or better than Past Lives, because that's like gonna be kind of damning for the movie. But I'm hoping it's enjoyable. But yeah, there's some good options in theaters this week, and then in the coming week that we will be watching a movie. It's 28 days later, or 28 years later.
Well, that was supposed to be January next year.
No, it's this year.
Really?
Yeah, next
I
week.
swear to God.
Trailers for it, man.
I swear to God. No, I've been seeing a lot of trailers too, but like, I was excited at the turn of the year. I thought it was going to be the beginning of this year, and then when everyone thought it was that, it was advertised as the beginning of fucking 26.
No, June 20th.
Well, son of a bitch.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
no, that's super
It's a
exciting.
couple weeks away.
I hope we can.
And Ralph
we can,
Fiennes is in that too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
In
yeah.
fact, they say Cillian Murphy is in the movie, but he hasn't showed up in the trailers yet. But Ray Fiennes has shown up in the trailers. I hope we
exciting.
can line up to see that one together. I think.
Oh,
that'd be
I
really
will
cool.
just make. I'll make sure that we do that.
Friday,
Yeah,
Saturday, we'll get something.
Ooh,
I'll
maybe
do
we
that.
could-
I'm doing that twice. I'm doing it with the family, and I'm doing it with you guys.
if possible. I bet it's
Yeah.
playing in IMAX, and I bet that'd be fucking
Oh yeah, if
sick.
we do like a Friday IMAX,
Yeah.
you'll see like
Yeah, I'm just watching that movie twice for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's good shit. And hopefully we will all be watching Bring Her Back. Some of us may be watching The Karate Kid. Some of us may be watching The Unholy Trinity. Some of us may be watching How to Train Your Dragon, and some of us may be watching all three.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. Well, so that brings us to
My
What are we going to be
picks.
watching
The
for
picks.
episode 52?
Well, I wanted June is Pride Month, so I wanted to watch some films from prolific queer filmmakers.
all right.
So I picked two. I'm doing a nice double feature from people you may or may not have actually seen movies from them, but you'll definitely recognize some of their stuff. The first one is from Pedro Almodovar. From 1999, All About My Mother.
I remember the name.
And then from 1981, directed by John Waters, we will be watching Polyester.
I've never watched that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I watched like all the John Waters films I've seen.
Yeah.
I've liked, and I
Yeah.
I always kind of forget about them when they're like.
He's a wild filmmaker, but he's
Yeah.
very fun. And Pedro is not only a very famous Spanish filmmaker, but a very prolific queer filmmaker. And I've only seen a couple of his movies.
That won Best Foreign Language Film in that year, I believe.
And he's been nominated for several
what are
foreign
some of his
language
other
films.
films?
The Skin I Live In, Women on that's
Who
like
is in that one?
that's Antonio Banderas, who he's worked with a lot.
Is that where he abducts?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's fucking wild. I've
And
seen that movie. That's a good movie.
Way more of like a thriller thing than he normally does.
Yeah.
He normally is in like comedy.
That was a good
drama
fucking
stuff.
movie. That was a good piece of artwork. So.
But yeah, he works with Antonio Banderas a ton, and he works with Penelope Cruz a ton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pain and Glory is one of his more recent ones. That was really good. He recently did a movie with Tilda Swinton and Julianne Moore called The Room Next Door. But yeah, I'm excited to dive more into both their movies because they're both really
Yeah.
like fun, great filmmakers who I've not honestly dipped that much
Yeah,
into.
I've always been curious about polyester. I've seen it a million
Yeah.
times pop up. So cool, good picks.
So yeah, and I think we may have to rent or something Polyester. It's not currently streaming on a service,
Yeah, we're good with that.
but I have All About My Mother on my Vudu, so we'll be watching it through there.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
All right,
that's going to
thanks
do
for
it
tuning in.
for
Whoever did, peace
51.
out.
And,
Yep. This is
Find us
episode
again another
51.
time.
This was 51.
Yeah, it was.
Now it's over. And
Hell
so
yeah.
everybody's going to have to fuck